dear Olli members. My name is Annette Isaacs, and I am a German historian and a public educator. And I come to you in the spring of 2026 with a very interesting 5-week class that is called Echoes of Genius, Unveiling German Musical Legacies. And we're going to talk about 5 composers and musicians that are extremely famous. Of course, we're going to talk about Beethoven, we're going to talk about Richard Wagner, about Clara Schumann, who was married to Robert Schumann, but Robert is not really playing a big role. It's mostly Clara, who was the famous person. And then, of course, the Mendelssohn siblings. We have Fanny, we have Felix. And I'm very excited about telling you about all of these wonderful people because we're going to take a look not really at their music, but mostly at their lives, because what I'm interested is the story behind the music. And so this is going to happen from May 12th to June 9th. And this is on Tuesdays, 5 Tuesdays from 12 noon to 2 p.m. And I hope that you're all going to be interested in joining. And thank you so much for listening. And I hope that I'm going to see you in May. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
I'm Buck Beeson, and I teach Osher courses across the country. War in the Skies was my first course. I now have 4 being actively taught. And this course covers the air war in Europe from the start of the war in September 1939 until its conclusion in May of 1945. World War II was the greatest clash of machines in the history of warfare. And this course covers not only the combat years, but the development of fighting planes from their origins. This was a technology that was less than 4 decades old when the war began, yet it would ultimately prove decisive in every theater. But the story goes back before all the fighting. We'll learn about the early champions of air power, their triumphs and failures, and sadly, all too often, their early deaths. This was a dangerous business. And we'll learn how incredible machines grew from the humblest of beginnings, all without a computer or even a calculator to guide the process. And we'll learn how each of the major air forces, the German, the British, and the Americans, would all enjoy their time in the sun, and each, in its time, would pass into history. The backbone of War in the Skies is a PowerPoint presentation with thousands of images, animated graphics, maps, and embedded video. Each participant will also receive a resource pack with an aircraft encyclopedia, a bibliography, and a cast of characters. Hope you'll join me.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Derek Strawn, and I'm here to promote yet another class for the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. This one is happening in the spring, and it's American Portrait Part 2. That is the second half of the American History Survey, which we started in the fall of 2025. It's going to be an interesting class, I think. It's one of my favorite time periods to teach, and we'll be marching through time from the Gilded Age all the way up to the present day, and touching on major events of that time period, including things like the World Wars and the Progressive Era and the Great Depression and the 1960s, all the way up to the Trump administration. So I'm hoping that you'll consider joining me for this class. I would love to see you there. And as always, thanks for supporting Olli and all that they do through MSU. Again, my name is Derek Strawn, and it's American Portrait Part 2. Signing up for this spring. I hope to see you then. Take care, everybody. I'll talk to you later. So long.
Greetings. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Gary Limison. I worked at the Boeing company 35 years, but before you ask, no, I was not the person that put the fasteners in the passenger emergency doors. I was an engineer in flight deck design, flight crew ops, and the class will cover the aircraft, the innovations, and the challenges that was faced by the Boeing company. So if you're a person that's wondered how in 100 years we went from crossing the United States in a covered wagon, taking 1 to 2 years, hoping to get there alive, to flying across the country in less than 5 hours, and then complaining about being 20 minutes late, this class is for you. So please join me in May 2026 and take flight with me as we explore the history of the Boeing company. Thank you.
This year represents the 100th anniversary of the development of quantum physics. Without quantum physics, we wouldn't have bombs, we wouldn't have nuclear power, we wouldn't have DNA, our understanding of DNA, we wouldn't have microbiology. We wouldn't even have that little device in your garage door that stops things if something's in the way. And yet, if you ask people, what's the biggest revolution that has occurred in science since Isaac Newton? Most people say relativity. Einstein and relativity. Well, they're wrong. The biggest revolution has been quantum physics. It's everywhere. In this course, we'll look at the development of quantum physics and people that develop it. It was originally called Knaben physics, which meant boys' physics. And the reason for that was early back in 1925, it was mostly young men. I'm going to tease that apart and show you some of the women that were key to this development also. I think you'll enjoy it. It's mind-boggling. One of the leaders, Niels Bohr, Danish physicist, one of the leaders said that people that think they understand it are confused. Join me, we'll have fun. It won't be very mathematical, but even without that math, even without sophisticated math, quantum physics is mind-boggling and exciting. I invite you to come join me in this class on quantum physics. I'll see you in the spring.
Hello, I'm Keith Awney. I'm a wildlife ecologist. I've been at this practice for 42 years. I worked with Fish, Wildlife, and Parks for 31 and with the Wildlife Conservation Society for 10. I'm going to teach an Olli course on wildlife conservation and some of the more practical aspects of how we do this conservation work today. And I will cover topics like species like bison and bears, which I'm most familiar with, but the lessons they teach us. And then we're going to talk about adaptations and some very unique ecological functions of species in ecosystems. I also want to talk about how management intervenes and tries to preserve these species, and especially emphasizing the relationship between humans and wildlife and how important that is. I hope you'll join me. There'll be 5 lecture series, 2 hours each. And I'm looking forward to working with this group of folks at Olli to teach and encourage people to help restore and conserve wildlife. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ken Christensen. I am an assistant professor of piano here at Montana State University. And I am thrilled to be teaching a course this spring for Olli entitled Ragtime, a Musical History. And we will be talking about the era of ragtime music that swept the United States at the turn of the 20th century. We'll begin in the early 1890s, and we will proceed through the 1920s. As well, we'll be exploring the revival of ragtime in the 1970s. We'll be discussing and exploring the composers of that period, their lives, their influence on the music, as well as all the societal influences that led to their creativity of this amazing music. So please sign up for this course. I'm very excited to be teaching it. We'll be offering it this spring, and I will look forward to seeing you then. Have a great rest of your winter and fall, and we'll see you in the spring.
Hi, I'm Marvin Lansford, recently retired after 36 years as a professor in the MSU English department. This 4-week course, William Blake and the World, will focus on the visual and verbal art of the English Romantic poet William Blake. He is one of the few figures in history to become hugely influential in two mediums, painting and poetry, and for the two together in works such as the Songs of Innocence and Experience. And I recently held a real copy of one of these at the Bodleian Library in Oxford. Blake is the author of some fantastic poetry, including the best-known poem in English, The Tiger. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night. You know that one. In this class, you will be introduced to Blake's interesting and difficult life in 18th century London. We will explore why Blake's early critiques of our modern world are still influential and relevant today. And we will see how Blake's texts are reworked in contemporary music, think Bob Dylan, art, and even advertising. There's Michael Jordan with a Blake quote. And we'll explore Blake's favorite poetic form, the proverb, which is also mine, to see how Blake rewrites biblical wisdom books. I spent my career studying Blake, and I can't wait to spend some time on him with you.
Hi everybody, my name is Bob Loftus. I'm a retired ambassador, foreign service officer, and I hope you'll join me this spring for my course on international negotiations. If you're curious about what goes on behind the headlines, what it takes to actually make a good and lasting international agreement, I hope you'll join me. We'll be talking about the legal underpinnings, preparation, dynamics, talking at the table, away from the table, everything that goes on up until the point where the principals actually sign the agreement and make it come. I'll be drawing a lot on my own experience, including successes and failure or two, to talk about how all this comes together. And I hope you'll join me this spring. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Professor Star Bradley, and I'm excited to be teaching a class this spring for the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute called Living in the Digital Age, Misinformation and Digital Literacy. This course is based on a semester-length class that I teach at MSU, where we talk about social media and the news and some of the misinformation and biases that we see in our everyday information landscape. I hope to see you this spring. I'm excited to be teaching this course, and I hope you can take it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tara Sewell-Lassiter, and I'm the director of first-year seminar at Montana State University. I'm also a historian specializing in the ancient world. So this spring, thanks to the wonderful invitation from Olli, I'll be offering a course entitled Ancient Greece in 10 Objects. Throughout this course, I will ask you to step into the world of ancient Greece as we explore its sweeping history, one fascinating object at a time. Students will explore the Aegean Bronze Age with the mysterious palaces of the Minoans and the heroic legends of the Mycenaeans. We'll go to the transformative collapse of the Greek Dark Ages, which led into the cultural rebirth of the Archaic period. We'll journey through the brilliance of classical Greece and follow its enduring legacy into the Hellenistic and Roman eras. Each week, carefully chosen artifacts will serve as our guide, a doorway into the daily lives, beliefs, art, and innovations of these people who helped shape both the ancient world and even influenced our modern culture. Whether it's a ceremonial vase, a piece of armor, or a marble statue, every object offers a unique lens into the spirit of its age. Perfect for curious minds and lovers of history, this course promises fresh discoveries, lively Q&A, and a memorable encounter with the ancient Mediterranean. Each class will cover 2 unique objects, but there will be time for questions and discussion as well. I want to know what you want to know more about. So I hope I'll see you when class starts, and I'm so looking forward to teaching for Olli again. I just know we're going to have a fantastic time together.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kevin Aslan. I am the Executive Artistic Director at Montana Shakespeare in the Parks.
And my name is David Cogswell. I'll be your Olli program coordinator for the upcoming trip to Stratford, where we are going to spend 10 days, see 3 live performances, and receive unique, bespoke lectures, workshops, as well as tours from the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust in Stratford.
It truly is a highly unique opportunity to partner with both Olli, Montana Shakespeare in the Parks, and also the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust in Stratford, where there are some amazing teachers, professors, and scholars that know so much about Shakespeare and the history within the area as well. To be able to see a show at the Globe, as well as a couple of shows at the RSC, and to speak with people who are involved with that theater, I think gives us a really unique opportunity to engage in a way that we might not have here. I will be leading some courses leading up to the trip. And then while in England, I'll also be doing a follow-up class out there about Henry V, which we'll be seeing at the RSC. And then also some techniques that we use when we are acting Shakespeare. One, Barry Eldenstein's Thinking Shakespeare, and also a technique called the First Folio Technique, which is very popular in Chicago and New York. So please, we invite you to come out and join us. It's going to be happening over Shakespeare's birthday as well. And so in Stratford, there are amazing events that are happening to celebrate the playwright's birthday.
So we're thrilled to invite you to go to the Olli website at MSU or to the website for Montana Shakespeare in the Parks with an S at the end to register for our course. We cannot wait to take you to Stratford this coming April.